the theme, the mantra of the 1980s black gay movement, and you'll find this in the books that I gave you, that was heard among black gay men. The political comment and proverb was this: black men loving black men is a revolutionary act.
This is the narration booth of Jared Winn-Taryor, here to give you the news and give you the blues around that goes on. So listen and open your ears to the stylings of Jared Winn-Taryor.
This is a Beach production. Yes!
Black gay men have been a part of American culture for decades. Their charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent are the reasons for their popularity and success today. In this video, we observe the old black gay male who was almost completely underground, excluded from white gay culture, and poorly portrayed in the media. We compare it to the new black gay male who is out of the closet, celebrates his pride his own way, whose culture has traveled overseas, and is a developed character in media. This video will barely scratch the surface of the struggles the old black gay male has experienced and how his achievements and pride have essentially made way for the younger generations of his kind to live openly and proud. Bayard Rustin was an American leader in social movements for civil rights, socialism, nonviolence, and gay rights. He was born in Westchester, Pennsylvania, March 17, 1912. As a teenager, Rustin wrote poems and played left tackle on the high school football team, and according to lore, staged an impromptu sit-in at a restaurant that would serve his white teammates, but not him. When Rustin told his grandmother he preferred the company of young men to girls, she simply said, "I suppose that's what you need to do." As an adult, Rustin's open sexuality affected his career. In 1942, he was arrested for not appearing for his draft board and refusing alternative service as a conscientious objector. He was sentenced to 3 years and ended up serving 26 months. Angering authorities with his desegregation protests and open homosexuality to the point they transferred him to a high-security prison. In January 1953, Rustin, after delivering a speech in Pasadena, California, was arrested on lewd conduct and vagrancy charges, allegedly for sexual act involving 2 white men in an automobile. With the FBI's file on Rustin expanding, the Fellowship of Reconciliation demanded his resignation. Rustin played a critical role in introducing King to Gandhi's teachings, and while working with Dr. King to plan a march outside the Democratic National Convention in Los Angeles, Representative Adam Clayton Powell Jr. of New York was angry that Rustin and King were planning to do such a thing. He warned King that if he did not drop Rustin, Powell would tell the press King and Rustin were gay lovers. Regardless of the fact that Powell had concocted the charge for his own malicious reasons, King, in one of his weaker moments, called off the march and put distance between himself and Rustin. During the 1980s, Rustin opened up publicly about the sexuality he had sublimated since the 1950s. In a 1987 interview with The Village Voice, Rustin said, "I think the gay community has a moral obligation to do whatever is possible to encourage more and more gays to come out of the closet." For his part, he worked to bring the AIDS crisis to the attention of the NAACP. Because of Rustin's sexuality, he was too much of a liability for the movements he supported, and therefore he was put into positions that put him in the background instead of the forefront. He was an excellent organizer, public intellectual, and overall talented man. Bayard Rustin died at age 75 on August 24, 1987. And in 2013, he was awarded the Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama.
And the right to vote. What do you say?
Todrick Hall was born April 4th, 1985. He is a vocalist, actor, director, choreographer, and entertainer from Arlington, Texas. He became well known when he auditioned for the 9th season of American Idol. Todrick is an openly gay entertainer and is known for doing great remakes and parodies of popular movies and songs such as Mary Poppin' Dem Pills, The Wizard of Oz, The Hungry Games, Mean Girls, and Twerking in the Rain. He is an extremely successful, young, black, gay man. This is Todrick's original song, It Gets Better.
Hey you, with your head held high, well, you got him real good. I hope it feels good. Hey you, trying so hard not to cry, well, I know you're fed up, but keep your head up, 'cause people only see what they wanna. People gonna believe what they gonna. They don't understand the life that you choose. They never walked a mile in your shoes. No, no, no. So what you gonna do with the haters? Just gotta excuse their behavior, but just don't give up hope. I just want you to know. Maybe today seems cloudy and gray, so full of sorrow, and tomorrow seems so far away. But it gets better. Starting down this yellow brick road called life, 'cause it gets better. It gets better. 'Cause it gets better. It gets better. I'm twerking in the rain, just twerking in the rain. It's the ratchetest feeling. I'm clapping again. These haters gonna hate, but I'm still in the game, just working and twerking in the rain. I'm twerking in the rain, just twerking in the rain. It's the ratchetest feeling. I'm making it clap again. These haters gon' hate, but they can get out my way. And let me work, work, and let me twerk, twerk in the rain. Yo, yo, yeah, I'm the dapperest fella, but I like them cakes to have jelly. They run under my umbrella, just like my name was Gene Kelly. I heard the weatherman say night before last. Tonight there's gonna be some ass in the forecast. Well, hello.
Because of the exclusion and objectification of black gay males from the white gay culture, the black LGBT community decided to create their own space where they can celebrate themselves. The earliest examples of a black gay pride was created by a small group of friends in the year 1988 in Los Angeles who understood the exclusion of the white LGBT community. In this clip of the Joan Rivers show, the cast of Jenny Livingston's Paris is Burning explains the racism of the white LGBT and how they didn't allow people of color to attend their events. These events were known as balls, a get-together for the LGBT community where competitions were held.
I've told people in the past, they've always said, when they were, say, reading us, they would say, well, you guys that dress up in women's clothes, you're finding an easy way out. But they don't realize we have a harder time than the heterosexual man, because first of all, we have to deal with the fact that if you're a person of color, you have to deal with that. Then you have to deal with the fact that you want to be different. And when you go against the grain, the majority, they want to get you.
Does
so we have a harder
count?
life.
in the homosexual world? See, because I've never found... It does.
Yeah.
All right, tell me.
Like in any other world.
Really? Really? Okay, you say of course, because I've been so involved and I've never thought...
When I first started getting into balls, when I first came to New York, because I came with a show and we settled in New York, and when I first went to the early balls, and outside of Phil Black's ball, which was up in Harlem, so that was the contrary rule. But the other balls, Pepper will tell you, like certain balls, I won't mention which one, but if you were of color, you weren't going to get in unless you knew someone or unless your color was very pale. You know, you just weren't going to get in. That's what started the balls uptown. There was nothing for the children of color downtown, actually. And then there was also nothing for anyone who wasn't going to wear feathers and beads.
Yes, because this to me, you two...
While this racial segregation isn't as prominent as today, and anyone is welcome to an LGBTQ event, Black Gay Pride over the years has reached a new level of fun, excitement, and love.
Yeah. Turn around, Milan. Let them see what they both know. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Okay. The hush puppies. All right. Hi, Milan.
What up?
How are you?
I'm chilling.
All right. Where you from?
St. Louis all day.
St. Louis all day. St. Louis. St. Louis all day. This is what I want to know. Have you ever been to Sweet Pies?
And you would see Black gay men in pride celebrations as we celebrated our own pride, as well as in San Francisco and New York. You would see a group of Black gay men walking down the street with a big banner, "Black men loving Black men is the Revolutionary Act." And what that meant was it didn't matter who you were as a Black man, whether you were, however you identified, gay, straight on the down low, heterosexual, educated, non-educated, college, worker, street, upper class, middle class, lower class, religious, non-religious, Christian, Buddhist, Native American, Islam, Muslim, Jewish. It was like, if you were Black men, we need to love each other because we all catching hell in this society.
Vogue began in the 50s, and it was a way of handling disputes between the LGBT community. Instead of fighting, the way things went down were through dancing. People could read and throw shade, but all that really matters is what happened on the dance floor. This video shows a night on the pier of New York City of the Black gay community dancing and having a good time. The type of Vogue being portrayed in this video is now considered the old way, a style that mimics the poses of models in Vogue magazine. So pay attention and you may learn a few things. Recently, Vogue has reached an international platform. It has influenced countries such as France, Germany, Japan, and many more. These places have adopted Vogue's ball culture, and like in the United States, they host competitions in voguing and modeling. This clip is a Vogue battle of an international competition between Karina Ninja of the House of Ninja, representing Yugoslavia, and Victor, representing Slovakia. Commentating on the mic is Ashan Ivisu Wesley of the House of Ivisu, another successful Black gay male who through the art of Vogue has been able to travel the world commentating and teaching at events such as these.
Victor from Slovakia stage, give Sasha a round of applause.
While international Vogue is good and all, it can't get better than where it started from. These are some of the legendary icons of the NYC Vogue ballroom scene. Legendary.
I'm pussy, I'm cunt, I'm pussy, I'm cunt, I'm pussy, I'm cunt, I'm pussy, I'm cunt, I'm pussy. I like to get down and dirty, stick up the floor just like skunk cunt, pull out the way.
For those little flaws like that,
History gives many examples of the appropriation and love of black culture. Because it's black, everybody wants it. And black gay culture is no exception. Within the last couple of years, terms such as shade, tea, and read have been used in mainstream media. While these words are used in fun, please keep in mind where they come from and respect their origins by using these words correctly.
Let's talk about reading. What is wrong with you, Pedro? Are you going through it? You're going through some kind of psychological change in your life?
She went back to be a man.
Oh, you went back to being a man. Touch this skin, darling. Touch this skin, honey. Touch all of this skin. Okay? You just can't take it. You're just an overgrown orangutan.
You get in a smart crack and everyone laughs and kikis because you found a flaw and exaggerated it, then you've got a good read going.
I am a person just like you. You cut me, I bleed the same way you do. I bleed the same color.
If it's happening between the gay world and the straight world, it's not really a read, it's more of an insult, a vicious slur fight.
See, there go my sister right there. She don't even want to even admit that she my sister. She a bulldagger.
But it's how they develop a sense of how to read.
That's my husband right there. And that's my girlfriend right there.
They may call you a faggot or a drag queen. You find something to call them. But then when you are all of the same thing, then you have to go to the fine point. In other words, if I'm a black queen and you're a black queen, we can't call each other black queens because we're both black queens. That's not a read, that's just a fact. So then we talk about your ridiculous shape, your saggy face, your tacky clothes.
Let me see what you all learn.
Let's see. No paint.
Yes, it's
no
paint.
Motherfucking paint, girl.
What? She wears more makeup than my mother does.
Then reading became a developed form where it became shade. Shade is, I don't tell you you're ugly, but I don't have to tell you because you know you're ugly. And that's shade.
Nasty! Oh, but wait a minute, now I want you and you're gonna help me with something too. I need to teach me some of the secrets, like how to get that shade and please teach me some.
Now you know that you can be shady.
Let's teach me some. You've got
basically,
the best one.
listen, all you have to do is give a nice nasty. You know.
Boop, boop, bing.
But Nene, girl, please.
Boo,
girl, bye, girl.
Boo, bye, Nene.
My point is, what I want the world to know about Nicki Minaj is when you hear Nicki Minaj spit, Nicki Minaj wrote it.
Public Access Channel 96
The media portrayal of the old black gay man is a complete stereotype of an overly effeminate man. This film is the old black gay male's media portrayal in living colors, men on film.
Ballpark Franks. They plump when you hit them. I bet they do. They almost can't fit into the bun.
Modern Day Black Gay is an introspective web series that explores what it means to be black and gay in modern society through the eyes of its cynical protagonist, Malcolm Hughes. In the scene, Trevor complains about his boss finding out that he is gay and how she will now treat him like a stereotypical black gay man.
Mr. Grump?
Because my boss found out I was gay.
So? How?
Aaron.
But didn't you already know you're gay? I mean, you do work for a fashion magazine. It's like a requirement for male employees to be gay.
No, she didn't, and I didn't want her to find out.
Why?
Because now she's gonna start treating me different by like calling me honey and girl and little Miss Thing and saying things like fierce and work all the fucking time.
Oh, I hate that.
Every time this happens, I always wonder, am I gay enough?
Exactly.
Like, they just trying to talk out slang, trying to kiki with us.
No, Manny. What they're actually saying is that every gay man is the exact same way. A flaming homosexual.
This is Trevor's boss.
Hey, Boo!
Hey!
Who are these cuties?
This is my best friend Malcolm, and this is his cousin Emmanuel.
Hey, Boo!
Hey!
Yes! Your outfit is giving me life! Work, bitch!
I have a dick. I'm a man. And that's how you work, bitch. If you'd excuse me.
But that theme of black men loving black men is the revolutionary act. The hope for that was that black men from different ages, from different generations, would do exactly what you're doing, trying to talk about how we bridge the gap, what we learn from one another. I think younger black gay men, what we older black gay men have given to younger black gay men, is a world that we have carved out. You were using some of the language, I think in your paper, when we talked about some of the underground language, like Vogue and Read and we'll save some of them.
T and J.
Yeah. All those are old terms. They'll go back to James Baldwin's writings and things like that. Yeah, knowing somebody's T and having that attitude, or the things that the older black gay men would be to me when they would tell me if I was crying about something. In the most feminine way, they would say, "Stand up and be a man." And they were fierce and everything. They say something like they put their femininity. I won't use exactly what word they said, but they put their femininity in a purse. If somebody mess with them and they start doing the windmill, come on, it's just like some of them walk into church and they would give this they would give the most wild look they could. like I'm crazy, don't mess with me. I think that one thing we have done is that we have given. We in some places we've carved out an underground community. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. Sometimes it's made us invisible. It's made us quiet. But I think that we have created a space and a creativity to the society through our writings, through our music, through our presence, through our fierceness, our defiant way of saying, like other African Americans, you can try to do everything to get rid of me, but I ain't going nowhere. Or my mother used to say, if I got a liver-po pig, a diet-po hog, a root-po hog, a diet-poor pig, you're not getting rid of my hope, you're not getting rid of my faith, you're not getting rid of my spirit. And I think just our willingness to survive and go through the stuff that we've gone through is the greatest thing that we've handed to the younger community, so that if we reach this ceiling, they can bust through the doors, or if they bust through the doors and they find themselves hurt, they ought to know that that will catch them and hold them, that we've been there and we understand, and give them the message that others gave us, that you're going to be okay and you'll make it, and one day you'll fulfill the shoes in which we're walking. Or put in the words of Marvin White, one of the black gay poets, that when my brothers dropped his sword, he was talking about a lot of the guys who had died from HIV and AIDS. He said, what do you do as a younger person? As my brother dropped his sword as a warrior, he says, I picked it up and I began to carry it, and I continued the fight, the struggle, the battle. And I think that's one of the great things that we have handed, and the challenge that we've given to younger black men, gay men, to continue to fight the good fight, to continue the battle, to continue to be fierce, to be wonderful, and especially proud and free.